right, we are live now, and there we go. Looks like we've got some people already on the call. So let's begin then. Welcome, everybody, to our second live stream. And this month, we've invited Dr. Kevin Lee, the CTO and co-founder of Luraco Technologies. And we welcome you. And on Dr. Lee's in the middle. On his right is Robert Nelson. He's the manufacturer's representative for sales and marketing. And Abraham is on our right. Robert's on our right, and then Abraham is on our left, to the right of Dr. Lee. And I probably messed that up already. And he's the lead engineer. And I'd like to thank you so much for being on this live stream today. We appreciate that. There will be questions throughout the broadcast or comments, and as we get those, and of course those of you who are viewing and participating, feel free to submit questions or comments, and of course, barring the clock, we will be able to answer those for you to your satisfaction. And to begin with, I'd like to just say we're going to have I don't know if you can see that. The green screen is messing things up, but I've got my book. Oh, there we go. I've got my book, my second edition. It's there. It's hard to see it. But anyways, if you want to submit a comment and put #book, you will be entered into the drawing. And then at the end of the broadcast, we will have a drawing, and whoever wins it will mail my second edition of the Ultimate Massage Chair Buyer's Guide out to you. Well, anyways, let's go ahead and begin. Now, Dr. Lee, your company's called Luraco Technologies. Of course, we are dealing primarily with Luraco chairs, but maybe you could talk a little bit about how your company came to be. And I know that you were involved in other technologies before massage chairs. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about your history.
Oh, absolutely. Luraco Technologies it was founded in 2005. So we've been in business for about 18 years now. So in the beginning, the company focus was all about engineering. So our mission was to provide research and technology development for the government, specifically for the U.S. Defense industry. So we handle many projects for the aircraft technologies, sensors and software and protocol for the Black Hawk and Apache helicopters for the U.S. Army program, and also the distributed engine control communication protocol for the F-35 program. And that project was funded by U.S. Air Force. And we work directly with the Department of Defense. So we are not a subcontractor through other company. We work directly with the U.S. government. So we have done many successful projects for the defense industry, including U.S. Air Force, U.S. Army. But then around 2008, 2009. We have some customer came to us. Basically, they told us all the issue what they're facing in the salon industry for the robotic massage chairs that they use in the salon industry. So I remember at that time we had a department of engineering, about 7 engineers. So I had a meeting with the engineering team, and we talk about the opportunity and we talk about the challenges. And about a week later, we decided to invest into the massage chair product line. So it took us about 2 years to develop the first robotic massage chair model. It was very simple massage product, but it was the first chair that made in USA. It's just a simple 2D massage mechanism on the back with some actuators and some electronic control and software to control the motors and all that. It's quite simple massage chairs, but it's a successful product. And after this, that product launch, then we started to look into invest into the development of the full body massage chairs. So that is how we got into the massage chair industry, and that's so it's about 2013 we launched the first full body massage chairs to industry, and then I think that time you came and visit us, in about the same year. And right now we are ninth generation now. So i9 massager is the ninth generation.
Wow.
So that's how we got into the massager business.
Well, the i9, of course, your chairs are made in America, and I know no chair is 100% made in any country, because there's always components that are made in other places that are brought in. But I know that I believe the i7. I remember we talked about this with the i7. But what percentage of your i9 Max series would you say, if you can quantify it, were made in the USA?
Dr. Weidner, you visited our facility when we released the i9 model. You came and visited us, and you kind of video and do YouTube video to show your customer or your viewer about our operation. So basically, I would say for the i9, more than 80% are made here in the US. Yeah. And of course, no product these days. There's no product that you can say 100% made in USA, because there will be some screws, some components are imported, the materials are imported from overseas. But when you came here, you saw that basically we make the chair from the frame up. Yeah. Even the frame welding, we have a robot welding for the frame and the painting. And then we manufacture the 3D mechanism in-house, the hand rollers in-house, the footrest in-house, the armrest in-house, and then the painting, the metal part, stamping, manufacturing, the injection molding machine, the laser cutting for all the metal part, the painting and all that. And you see the final assembly and testing, packaging, everything in-house. So it's a lot of labor and also the machine, the use in the production process.
Right. Well, I remember the video, and I posted it. And for anybody that wants to watch that, you can see it on our YouTube channel. That is a very informative video. I remember when I came to visit you before, when we first started, you didn't have near that kind of production or anything going on compared to what you have now. So it was definitely a shift. Yes. It looks like so much more is being done at your Arlington, Texas facility. Now, and I might want to clarify this. Even the Chinese made chairs and the predominant manufacturer of massage chairs is China. But even Chinese chairs don't have 100% Chinese components. I remember one factory I visited a few years ago. They had some products that were coming from Singapore, some from Malaysia. So it's not uncommon to hear that a chair is not made 100% in any given country. And Luraco is no different from the made in Japan chairs, the made in China chairs. But the fact that you have over 80% of your chair made in America is pretty awesome, since you're the only chair that's made in America. There's some that are designed here and maybe even engineered here, but the actual production and the engineering is all done for you guys right at your facility in Texas. Now, I know that a lot of energy goes into creating a new product. You mentioned that when you first started, it took you a couple of years before you came out with your first product. So from inception to distribution, how long did it take you to do this i9 Max or the i9? I know there was an i9 before and then the i9 Max. How long did it take you get that into?
Yeah, typically, for each model, it takes us about 2 to 3 years for the engineering, research and development, and also the production readiness. Because for production we have to, develop the tooling, for making parts, for the mold, making parts and all that to get it ready for the production. But specifically for the i9 product line, it took us a little bit longer, because for i9, it's like completely new model with everything new. Even the 3D mechanism has been redesigned. The frame has been redesigned. Frame is brand new because it's a split track technology that we invented. And we have to go through a lot of testing and then go through the patent filing and all that. So it took us a little bit longer. For i9 product line, it took us about 3.5 years, something like that, or
wow.
4 years. Yeah. So you remember we introduced a prototype as the CS. But it like from that prototype, working prototype to production is like 2 years later.
Yeah, I remember sitting in that, and I got to be honest. When I sat in the prototype, it was very rudimentary, and I remember thinking, "Holy cow, this chair's going to crush my hands, or it's going to do." And then I remember when it came out, I was so pleasantly surprised, because it was definitely different from the prototype. And I understand there's so much development, and even to this day, I know that Luraco changes things constantly, trying to improve the function of a particular component or whatever. I know that it's ongoing; it never ends.
That's correct. Yes.
Now, what would you say? Of course, I'm talking to. By the way, you spoke of patents. If everybody, excuse me, if everybody looks behind those three gentlemen, you'll see the wall of patents. That's their. They call it the invention wall, and that is basically a list of all their patents that they own in the development of their chairs. And it's interesting, like there's so many little things, like the hinge track that you have, or the remote control that you have. I suspect the arm rollers and all that other stuff is also patent pending, or a patent earned or granted. But what is it that makes your like? I want to talk, I say chairs, but you've had chairs for different models for years, but what makes the i9 Max so different from the rest of the industry?
Well, Dr. Weidner, for us, we are a technology company, so we always focus on the technologies and invent the new technology for our products. So for i9, specifically right now, i9 Max massage chairs, we spend a lot of engineering effort and money into the development, research and development of this model. So for i9 Max, as you know, we have many of the new technologies incorporated in this model. That the first thing I want to mention is the split track technology. That split track, even that word split track that comes from Luraco. We are the one that named that technology split track, and now you can see some of the competitors also call it split track, and they basically copy our product, but we have the patent for that. And also for i9 Max, we also have the hand rollers and also the power armrest. In the power armrest, you press a button, the armrest automatically open for easy user access,
like a slide door.
Right, slide door. But that technology also help with massage. We are the only one. i9 Max is the only one on the market right now can do hand stretching. When you do right, and maybe some people don't understand, or they don't know what the split track technology is. But basically, in the past, like 10 years ago, the stretching is all about the S track, right? So basically, as the backrest recline and the footrest go down, and it provides the lower back decompression. But later on, we come out with L track. the L track and provide the mechanism, can go down to the glute area, the seat area, and provide the massage under the seat and all that. But that track is fixed, so it doesn't do a good job on the spine decompression during stretching. Right? So that's how we fix that, or we improve that L track technology by introducing a split track. That means the mechanism, the 3D robot, still can travel from neck down to the glute area, but during stretching, that angle can vary, right? You know, they sit and the headrest can that give the better lower back or spine decompression for some people. So that's how we spend time and money and develop that technology, and we have a patent issue for that. And then for i9 Max, the special edition, we have a what we call double 3D engine. That means one 3D engine on the back that can handle the neck massage and lower back massage, and another 3D engine with 4 rollers can travel from seat area to your the position of the top mechanism is. So that gives two of them 3D. So because sometimes the bottom what we call the bottom mechanism traveling up, and it can go out to the lower back area, and the user can adjust intensity how much they want, in what intensity they want for lower back, what intensity they want for the seat area, and so it has an advantage. That's why we do the 2 double engine with both of them are 3D.
So is it 3D under the seat as well? Can you increase the depth of the rollers under the seat, not just in the low back?
Yes, that's why you see on our intensity control screen, we have low intensity control for the lower back, upper back, neck area. And our chair provides a sectional intensity control. You can adjust intensity for the hand, different than the neck, foot roller, hand roller, calf roller. And our chair provides the flexibility for user to adjust all the intensity for different body parts. And then for the i9 Max, we also have the I mentioned about the armrest, power armrest, and with the hand stretching, and also what make the i9 Max so special at this time is the over-the-air software update. So basically, we have been doing some software update for some customers. So right now, our chair is the only one in the industry that we can sit here and program the chairs out there. Doesn't matter where the chair's at, as long as they have a Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I like that OTA. I think that's. I think it's been talked about by some of the other companies as far as being able to update software, but nobody's done it. And this is the first time I've seen it actually happen.
Right. Yeah, and actually, these days software is the brain of every product. It controls everything. And it can change. It can do my product better, or it can do different things. So we see that as a very important factor. That's why we implement the technology into our i9 Max, so that we are able to update the software for customer, maybe a year later, 2 years later, when we have a better software massage profile, better software version, then we can update that for our customer at no cost.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's and we've used it. Some of our customers have requested some changes to the software, and you've accommodated them.
So far, there's a couple of customers. They say, "Oh, I have pain in the calf, and I cannot handle that calf massage intensity. Even level 1 is still too strong for them." So they requested, "Okay, can you turn it off? Or reduce a little bit more?" And we are able to. Our engineering team is able to go in and make a little change to the software and just boom, program update that software, and they're happy.
Yeah. I've seen that with our own customers, so I can attest to that. I also wanted to mention the 3D rollers in the bottom mechanism. Most of the other chairs that have a split track, they don't have the 3D roll. They don't have 3D rollers in the seat. It's mostly just on the neck, mid back, and low back. So that is unique for your chair. And I do know that the intensity of the massage, the independent adjustments, so you can adjust the neck independent of the mid back, independent of the low back. That is something very unique to your chairs. I've never seen that. I never saw it before, and I haven't seen it since in the industry. So that's pretty interesting. And then, of course, the airbags, you can operate the airbags independent of each other. Most massage chairs, when you change the intensity of the airbags, it increases the intensity of all the airbag compression at the same time. So like you were saying, if you want a little bit less on the hands, but you want more on the shoulder or the calves or the feet, you can adjust that. That is that's a remarkable feature. And intuitively.
And as you know, some of the chairs on like you mentioned, some chairs in the industry, they use 2D mechanism for the bottom mechanism roller, right? They try to save some money, but for us, we see that some people may want, because the bottom mechanism can travel up to somewhere in the mid back area. So some people may want to adjust the intensity a little bit on the lower back area. So that's why we put another 3D mechanism there, so that people can adjust whatever pressure they want.
Can I interject something? One of the things that you mentioned in regards to over 80% of our product actually being made here, when we give consideration to the fact that the actual engineering is American ingenuity that actually creates the designs that go into that product as well. One of the things that we know that stands out about the Luraco, it's its capacity to actually accommodate the American citizen. I mean, our chairs accommodate people up to 6 feet, 10 inches and over 300 pounds, which is not normal for a lot of massage chairs in the industry. And I really want to take my hat off to you, Dr. Weidner, because you've been actively aggressive in the industry in terms of providing education so that people can start to understand that the massage is not just a luxury treat. It's actually a treatment that can actually create physiological difference. In fact, I was talking to a professor of Weber State University just the other day who mentioned that you inspired him, Dr. Weidner, to actually implement a study on these chairs. And the Luraco was a part of a study that scientifically proves it produces measurable health benefits for its users. So I really take my hat off to all the work that you're doing to create this awareness in the industry. And as you look comparatively at the Luraco and compared to a lot of other chairs in the industry, it stands head and shoulders in terms of its ingenuity as well as its versatility. So it's a very unique product, and we encourage people to come out and try it.
Yeah, it's definitely a unique chair. It pretty much has every feature you could want, including leather upholstery and like you mentioned, Robert, handling the taller bodies. I don't know of another chair that can handle someone that's 6'10". Now, there's companies that say that their chairs can handle people that are, I know one company says they can handle people up to 6'9". Well, it'll fit someone who's 6'9", but it will not massage the neck of that person. And so the fact that it can handle someone so tall is very, very unique. Thank you for those comments.
And going back to your question about the what makes the Luraco chairs different. So I want to add one more thing is for i9 Max models, we have a 7 patent issue patent for that model alone.
Just for the motor.
For that model, i9 model.
Oh, that model.
Oh, model. 7 issue patent, and we have a couple more still pending. But 7 patent issue for that model alone. Wow. Yes, and like for example, like touchscreen technology, i7 was the first one, introduced the market to the industry with the touchscreen technology, and now everybody try to they follow our basically technology, and they see the advantage of the touchscreen technology. It's just like Apple, Apple introduced the first touchscreen technology to mobile phone, and now everybody just follow that,
Yeah. There's, well, how many patents do you have? Patents and patents pending total. What's your count?
For the whole company, we have right now about 47 U.S. patents.
Wow.
Yeah, and a few more still pending. So I think total more than 50 patents. But for massage chairs, total, I think we have about 15 patents.
Wow. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And, you know, we don't hear much about patents from other companies because they don't build their own chairs.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah,
in fact,
also they don't do some of them, they say they do engineering, design, all that in US and manufacture in China, but that is not true, you know, because if you spend money and spend engineering time to create some technology, you want to protect it, right? You want to patent it, and you might want to make it your own property. But how many of them, you know, you see that they have patent?
yeah.
Well, us,
Yeah, well,
because we spend a lot of money and engineering efforts, we invent technology, and we have to protect our intellectual property. So that's why we filed a patent. Yeah.
well, and that's probably one of the reasons you build your chairs at home is because, you know,
Yeah.
you can protect your technology here as opposed to outsourcing it overseas.
Mhm.
Now, one of our customers sent me an email this morning, and he was asking about if you're going to ever introduce your chairs to Europe. He says there's a demand for them. I have no idea what he bases that demand on. Maybe just because he's there and he wants one. But are there any plans to have international distributors of your chairs?
Right now, we do ship to Europe, but most of the time it just direct customer. They order from us and we ship to Europe. But we do have one distributor in Switzerland. Yeah, they distribute our chair, but that is just in couple countries, small area around that, you know. But right now, we are still trying to build the distribution network in Europe.
Yeah. Okay, good. I hope he's watching. He just emailed me this morning about that. And another customer, he's this fellow that is a customer of ours. He was asking about thigh massage, and of course, I've thought about this myself. Just seeing that's one of the exposed muscle groups that's not really addressed by current massage chairs, and lift chairs. We get people that ask us about lift chairs all the time. Is there any plans for maybe integrating your massage technology in a lift chair or coming up with a thigh massage technology?
At the moment, we still are very busy with all the engineering for you know, optimizing the software and some of the improvement on the engineering of that. So, but I mean, if the opportunity comes and if we see that there's a potential, then we can look into it.
Okay, thank you. And I think that's something that people are going to be eventually. I mean, there's always something going on in the minds of the engineers of massage chairs. I know that they probably think something's coming anyways, but thought I would ask you. Now, I have some comments here. And by the way, when you make a comment, everybody, please put hashtag book. I don't know if you can see that darn green screen is messing up, but I will send. We have a drawing at the end of the live stream. So I see that we've got 3 comments here. So go ahead and put hashtag book, and you'll be entered into the drawing. But from Guy, he says, "Is there a software update? If there is a software update, how would the customer be made aware of any updates that are available, or do you just automatically do those?"
Yeah, I for right now, you know, because most of people, when they receive the chair is offline. So we don't know if the chair, you know, is where the chairs are at, and if the chair needs the update or not. But you know, if you purchase a chair like let's say more than a year ago, then you can just contact us, and you know, we can look at the serial number, and we can tell we have a new software version for update or not.
Okay, all right. And then there's another Fred is another one of our customers that said, "I recently purchased the i9 Max Special from Massage Chair Relief, and they provide a lifetime labor warranty for the chair. However, this warranty is limited if parts for the chair are no longer available. The question he has is, for how long will Luraco support parts availability for a chair that has been discontinued, like the i7 and eventually someday the i9 Max?
Well, we try to keep our part supplies as long as possible. Most of the time, I think we probably about 10 years. But it depends on what part. Some of the part we manufacture, then it can be we can keep it for a long time. But let's say some electronics, some component that we don't manufacture, and we have to rely on semiconductor industry to make the part for us, then it can be limited for the lifetime for the components. So it depends, but most of the part we try to keep about 10 years.
Okay, well, and of course these chairs should last longer than that. I mean,
Yes, definitely.
15 to 20 years is what I
Yes.
expect from a premium chair.
Mhm.
But the point is well taken from Fred,
Mhm.
because this is not a problem unique to one company. All companies struggle with parts availability after a chair's been discontinued. There's even some companies who have not discontinued a chair that are having trouble getting parts. We've got one customer that's waited 3 months for a part from one of the other companies. So that's a good question, and we get asked that quite a bit. So obviously, we as customers, we want you to have those parts as long as you bloody well can have them.
The thing is, we are a U.S. manufacturer, and we manufacture the chair right here. A lot of component we manufacture here. It's not like the imported chair. Imported chair, maybe after 5 years, probably you will have difficulty to find the part. But for us, we can keep the parts lifetime much longer. And for i9 Max, we have a warranty for the leather for 10 years.
Yeah.
So that way we have to keep leather warranty, at minimum 10 years. And some people ask why, you have such a long warranty for leather, because they don't know. Massage chairs are different. It's not like a sofa. Massage chair, because of all the airbag compression, cheap leather will crack after a few years, and once leather crack, you can't use the chair anymore. At least it looks terrible. You don't want to use it.
Well, it's not just cracked. We see some upholstery shredding, like literally shreds apart. So yeah, I love the 10-year warranty on your leather. I think that's
we have the super high quality leather. We are confident about our leather. That's why we provide a long warranty.
Now it's breathability. So it expands because, as he mentions, when you have a lot of moving parts in a massage chair, if it's not a real natural product, if it's a faux product or a pseudo product, it's going to break down, dematerialize quickly. But with top grain leather, it's breathable, it's expandable, and it's durable.
And I understand that leather is built by a manufacturer who does auto seats, automobile seats. So obviously it's got to be durable. We have Gary. He just made a comment. I thought I'd share it with you. He says, I was very impressed when I toured the factory in Arlington, not only with the quality of the chairs, but the staff that I met were all top notch. Luraco and MCR is a good service team. Thanks, Gary. And by the way, it's Gary's birthday today, so happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Gary. He's an owner of the i7 or the i9 Plus. Sorry. Now, also,
I have a question because I had an opportunity to attend your live stream last month, and something that you brought out, which I thought was very unique, is that the demographic of people who are using massage chairs now is quite changing. I guess post-COVID, a lot more people, even the younger generation, are becoming more familiar with the health benefits. And can you speak to that briefly in terms of what do you see in the market, because you're constantly in that industry? What is really shifting in this market?
Well, there's two things that are shifting. One's the age group. When I first started in this business, most of the people who purchased were 45 to 65, maybe 70. And that was back in 2005, kind of the same time you started, Dr. Lee. And people that came in were, people that had, back pain, neck pain, headaches, but mostly symptom relief is what they were seeking. Well, now we've seen a shift. We've seen a shift to a younger crowd. Our demographic now is typically 30 to 60 or 35, 30 to 30 to 60 is now the demographic. And the part two of that is there are also people that are not just here for pain. I just created a video, and I need to get it posted probably later this week, but it's a video discussing a survey of our customers who purchased chairs from us. And I think we had close to 300 people respond. And I asked them what were the reasons that they bought a chair. What was the purpose for buying the chair? And we listed a whole bunch of symptoms, and there were some that we missed, like foot pain. That's common. Back pain, neck pain, headaches, shoulder pain, sciatica. But what really surprised me was the equal amount of people that bought chairs were not for symptom relief, but for relaxation, stress relief, improves flexibility, better sleep. And that was about the same number. So that's how it's changed. It's changed in the age demographic, and it's changed in the stress levels and the sleep problems that accompany the culture that we live in. So anyways, those are the primary differences. Now, and by the way, the guy goes on to say the demographic of the buyer is different than the user. Maybe it's the 65-year-old that buys the chair, or the 50 to 60-year-old buys the chair, but everybody in the house is using it, right? I mean, I have a chair in my home, and my sons-in-law and my grandchildren use the chair as every bit as much, if not more, than I do. Wow. So yes, that's a good point by Guy. The buyers, the demographic of the buyer has changed, but the user is it's in the way that only the buyer can tell. Like, all my kids are using it, all my grandchildren, and it's very safe for kids, safe for children, safe for pregnant mothers. It's very, very safe. Larry asks a question, and we already addressed this. And I think, Larry, you may have come in a little late, but the split track, he says, is this two independent rollers, one for the upper back and one for the lower back and legs? Yes, and we did discuss that. But Larry, one thing that was interesting that Dr. Lee mentioned is that the lower track on the Luraco chair has a 3D adjustment, so you can adjust the depth of the rollers in the butt muscles. You can't do that with other split track chairs that are out there, dual track, split track, whatever you want to call them. So anyways, that's a good question, and we did address it, but I wanted to highlight the 3D roller issue.
Dr. Weidner, something you did mention about safety, that's another factor that makes Luraco unique, is that we hold underwriters laboratory certification for safety. And many people are unaware of the fact that, particularly when you put a chair in a place where it may be accessible to the public or in the workplace, if it's not UL certified, there are certain liabilities that location would incur that wouldn't be covered under insurance. So that's another factor that really makes Luraco a very unique product in the industry.
Thank you. And what you just made me think of, Robert, is the battery pack that the Luraco chairs have. One of the biggest issues people have across the board is when they're sitting in a massage chair and the massage chair malfunctions, or the power goes out in the house, like ours did this morning. The chair will stay back, and you've got to crawl out of that thing. And for someone who's elderly or in significant back pain, it's not easy to move. And so your battery pack, this emergency power pack, if the power goes out, the battery pack will automatically bring the chair upright. And Dr. Lee and Ibrahim, maybe you can speak to this. If that happens, if the battery power pack has to kick in because of a power outage, do the armrests open and close still?
Yes.
So, okay. So when it comes upright,
customer still can press the button, armrest, will open and, will close. And it has a timer. I think battery will shut down after like 5 minutes.
Okay.
To say that, and battery power.
Yeah. And I have to say that is a fantastic idea. And I'm kind of, again, shocked that no one else has something like that, because that is the most common problem that we hear. Is as far as safety in the chair. The chair itself is very safe, but if it stops when you're fully reclined, or because of, like I say, because the chair has a fault or the power outage in the house, you have this battery pack that'll bring you up again. And that is a fantastic feature. And you don't appreciate it until you're stuck in a chair and you can't.
That's right.
Yeah, you can't appreciate that.
Mhm.
Okay, now Dr. Lee and those of you that are on the call here, our guests, what's your opinion of the industry in the United States, the massage chair industry? Because this is the largest industry in the world of massage chairs and of pretty much everything. What is your opinion of the industry, and where do you see the industry going down the road?
Dr. Weidner, there's good news and bad news. So let me start with the good news first, okay? So the good news is this massage industry is growing. It's a growing industry because people start to realize the benefit of using massage chairs. And you mentioned earlier, I think a lot of people now know that using massage chair can enhance the deep sleep, reduce stress, increase the flexibility, and feel better. That's what. And also, you know, some of the large corporation, like we sell chair to Cisco system, big corporation. They build, you know, a big room, put many of the massagers in there for their employee health and wellness program, you know, and that gonna make their employee, they say, make employees more productive, and you know, especially people who like engineer, they work in the lab with a lot of stress, you know, and writing code and all that. So they can use massage chair like 30 minutes a day, you know, and make their you know, work more or their employee more productive. So I think people now know about the benefit. That's a good thing. Benefit of massage chair. That's a good thing. And I think we are still at the beginning of the curve. Yeah, in the next few years, maybe 5-10 years, I think that this industry is gonna grow much bigger. All right. And but the bad news, here's the bad news. Bad news is that there's many a lot of confusion in this industry. You know, because I think you know too, many of the no-name brand came to the market and they sold the chair real cheap, and some of the consumer maybe get scammed. You know, they ship some product not working, contact the seller, you know, respond, that kind of thing. And even some brand, they intentionally cause the confusion to the consumers. Yeah. You know, for example, you know, their chair, everybody say, okay, we are the number one brand. Our chair have the best technology, and you know, etc. So make the consumer, okay, who do I believe? You know, right. So yeah, so it kind of those kind of things. It's kind of bad for our industry, and also they, you know, some you know, for us, we are a manufacturer right here. We are not an importer. We are not a distributors. We make our chairs here. And so I suggest that people who are looking into who want to buy a massage chair need to do their own research, you know, and look into you know, what they who they're gonna buy, look into the company, do a lot more research, talk to people, you know.
Can I interject something, Dr. Weidner? And again, commend you, because the years that you've been in this industry, providing a bi-weekly update about this industry is really creating an awareness and educating people about the ins and outs of the massage chair industry. And what's happened, particularly since post-COVID, that a lot of companies are becoming a lot more conscientious about their corporate wellness because of the fact that the expense of health and wellness is going up, because the OSHA recordables cost them more money. So many different factors come into play. And when they find out that a massage chair can contribute to that wellness factor, what we have seen is that the highest levels of stress are from the military to the fire department to the police. Then you got nurses, then you have educators. All these people are experiencing extreme levels of stress, and many of them are integrating massage chairs as a part of their routine. It becomes a cost for employee wellness. So the awareness that's rising is creating more and more opportunities. And needless to say, Luraco is constantly creating innovations to make it possible for us to address this American market and provide the needs that they have as consumers.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, and that is, wellness is kind of a catchphrase now in the corporate world, and a wellness program, uh, wellness subsidies. There's all kinds of things that address that, and a massage chair is a fantastic tool for that. Of course, the problem is, there's a higher use. They're going to have more failure than a one in your home, and so there's other logistical problems with that. But if you get a good chair with a good company that backs it, then you'll be okay. Also, Dr. Lee, right before then, you were talking about the no-name brand chairs. And yes, there is a problem it's a problem with marketing, really, is what it is. The chairs themselves, sure, there's a cheaper chair for $2,000 or $2,500, but at least that allows people to get into the market. And I've been a real proponent of that. I used to think, no, just premium chairs. If you can't get a premium chair, don't waste your money on another chair. But some people don't have money to buy a $10,000 plus chair. So those no-name brands do serve a purpose. But with you, I'm 100% with you in them saying it's a number one chair. It's the best chair. It's the top. And I just talked about this a couple of weeks ago in my industry update. I don't like those reports where they say the best chairs, best massage chairs, and then they list these no-name brand chairs. And I'm not saying they're bad chairs, but they're not the best chairs. We know that, and those of us that are in the industry know that. But I don't know how we're going to overcome that ignorance barrier, and because we just believe I get people come to me all the time saying, "Oh, do you carry this chair? This is the chair that was in the best massage chairs of 2023 Consumer Report," and
Right.
And it's not a consumer report; it's Consumer Digest or Consumer whatever, and so people can be fooled by that. But that's on our shoulders to make sure that we are honest and upfront about the things that we advertise and the things that we state about the chairs we sell. But yes, I do agree I would say that's the biggest negative of our industry, is the misrepresentation of facts and quality and whatnot. But I do agree with that. But I just had to add in my 2 bits about that.
One of the things that you mentioned when you did that report is the fact that it's affiliate marketers that are representing a company that'll put out this propaganda saying that, yeah, this is the top of the top 5 or what have you. But the idea is that they're just getting paid a commission for having marketed that product to someone who's may not know better. But I really am in agreement with you that it's up on our shoulders to make sure we're educating the consumer, giving them the right information and providing it to more and more people. That's why we make ourselves available. As you know, myself and Dr. Michael Open are actively engaged in creating education in the market to let people know, okay, why is the massage chair essential for your health and well-being? And you keep doing the things that you're doing, brother, because you got a lot of people that are looking up to you in terms of your presence on social media and your consistency with delivering true information about the massage chair industry.
Yeah, thanks. I've kind of assumed that role to some degree, to be a bit of a sentinel or a watchdog, and I like it because I don't like seeing people get ripped off. I mean, we have enough problems with good chairs and support for good chairs and availability of parts for good chairs. We already struggle with that. We don't need the additional crap that's out there in the industry that dupe people, and that's really what it is. Fred has a very good comment. He just made this question, and I like this comment, and this is a comment that would apply to people, to all massage chair companies. He says, while the Luraco i9 Max is feature rich, the instructions on how to use some of the features is limited. And so, for example, he says the OTA feature. How does it even work? How do I know if it's working? How do I know if I have the current version of the software? So you probably have something to say about that, but I have seen and heard that the instruction manuals for most of these chairs are really weak, and it's basically just trial and error by the user. I got to figure this out because there's no bloody instructions that I can follow that are worth following. So I don't know. Do you have any comments about any of you have comments about that?
Regarding the OTA, I think we talked a little bit about that earlier, because OTA it's mainly for the engineering. So that's why, if they need a software update, or they want to know if there's a new software version, can contact us. But regarding the user manual, because we've been making massage chair with touchscreen technology for a long time, so I think it quite simple and easy to use. It's just like a smartphone, But we do have a user manual, and we do have the video on our website. It's like for user instruction. But I think very soon we plan to put that video in our remote, so people can watch it.
Oh, yeah.
It's more convenient. So that's
Great idea.
You have anything to add with the OTA, Abraham?
Nope.
Yeah. So it's
Normally people are like
they expect
use,
like a update, software update, like
Yeah.
a wireless the laptop or phone.
yes,
Yeah.
but we
But we
normally
don't-
don't do that. But
because Dr. Weidner, the reason we don't do automatic update is because of user profile saving, and people already adjust this and adjust that, and we don't want to automatic update, and people, I don't want it, I don't like it,
Yeah.
So that's the reason, But if the customer want to know about update, then just contact the manufacturer, Luraco.
Yeah. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Sometimes, like, I don't need to know all that. I just want to know that it works. But but I think the idea of having videos on the remote's a fantastic idea, because your remote control is very unique. It's like its own little computer. It's like its own little tablet. And and you have used it that way. I know that there's an information tab on there that has reflexology points, and like it's good information. I think videos is a great idea. Great idea. Larry, Guy made the comment in the comment section, and Larry agreed with it, but Guy said that he also likes the shoulder. These are both tall men. They're both 6'3", and they like that they can adjust the shoulder height of the shoulder the shoulder airbag housing. And some chairs, it's one size fits all. And if you're really tall, the shoulder airbags will squeeze your chest instead of pulling your shoulders back. Or if you're too short, they'll come up against your chin. So that's a very good point. And you can adjust the shoulder the shoulder airbag housing to make it fit. Anything you want to add in terms of what you see in the future for massage chairs? Any innovations that you see coming, or anything that you want to share that you're working on for the future? Anything that you have to share there?
As you know, we are a technology company, and we are manufacturers. So our engineering department just keep working. We never stop. And as you can see, massage chair technology, it's changing every year. Something come out better, something new technology coming out. So Luraco as an industry leader in engineering, we always keep investing into engineering, research and development, keep developing new technology, new feature, new invention. So we always continue to work.
Yeah. Good.
Now, I will say this. One thing that we've done recently is that, and you've been involved in this because you have several showrooms, we reached out to the distributors that are part of our network to get some feedback from them, because they've got boots on the ground. They're interfacing and interacting with the consumers on a regular basis. They know what problems that are continuing to reoccur. And some of the solutions that Dr. Lee and the technology team are coming up are because of the feedback that we're getting from the market to say that this would be easier for us if we had these various features. One of the things, like the integration of the videos into the actual remote, is one of the innovations, because we always had the video technology on our YouTube channel, but sometimes people don't know where to go find it. So anything that we can do, we really depend upon you, like distributors like yourself, to give us the feedback to tell us what does the market need, because that's how this company was founded. They founded this company on asking one simple question: what need do you have that we can fill? And we still doing the same thing.
Yeah. Well, and I do see that. I see that you guys are constantly upgrading software based on feedback from us and from customers. But Fred just made me think of something. If you have an Apple phone, I don't know if the Androids work the same way, but they'll tell you there's an update, software update that'll go on tonight or whatever, and then it'll tell you a little bit about the version and maybe some of the little things that were tweaked in the new update. Is that something you've considered doing at all? That would be very unique to our industry. That's something we've never seen.
I think for us that is simple. We can do that, but and it has to go through some additional steps and we're afraid some people may not like it, but they have to okay, I go in and connect this chair to Wi-Fi and make sure they stay online and all that, But for us to just automatic update it's not a problem at all, right?
Normally people don't want to connect all the time, putting their chair online. So we have a check in, check out button, so they can just uncheck it. So we just disable the Wi-Fi whole. So we don't want every chair to be connected to internet, all the time.
I see. And you can change that on the remote control.
Yes. People have full control over the Wi-Fi connection.
Okay. David's asking if the remote is wireless. No, it's not wireless, but it's definitely a different remote from David, I know which chair you have. It's definitely a different remote arrangement than all the other chairs have. This is a very, very I don't even know how to describe it. It's like the computer of the chair is in the remote, and as opposed to just being an input point to get the engine working in the chair like most remotes are. But how would you differentiate your remote from other remotes?
Well, our as you can see, some of the chairs in the industry, they use as Android tablet, and then controlling the chair. But we developed this keypad, a wireless touchscreen keypad starting from i7, and we have been improving a lot of improvement along the way, and it is manufactured by us. That's why we want to have total control about the technologies and also all the component and everything in it. So it's easy to use, and we want to get power directly from the chair, so that way they can use anytime. Because a wireless keypad you have to keep charged. That's a good thing and bad thing.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that feedback, and it is definitely a different remote setup than pretty much every other chair out there. But anyways, we're coming up against the clock now. It's about an hour. If anyone else has any questions, Gary, thank you for your comment. He says, when we started our search for the chair, we went to the retail stores in the mall. Uneducated salespeople forced us to do our own research, and thankfully found Dr. Weidner's videos that made such a difference. So education does make a difference. For some people, it doesn't matter. But for a lot of people, educating and knowing what you're getting into is very, very important. And I think the onus is on us to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Any closing comments before we go, or before we actually do a drawing for the chair? Any of you that are still on the call, except you, David, because you won the last month's book, enter in the term #book, and we'll go do the drawing right now. If you guys want, can you hold just for a second while we do that?
Sure.
Let me see if we can. Let me see if I can do this without screwing up too much. All right. Well, here's the drawing. Well, there's only 3 entries, so it shouldn't be too hard. Let's see who wins. And it's Guy Doherty. Way to go. Oops, just a minute. Am I on? Did I lose the screen? Hold it. Now I don't know where I am. There we are. Okay. Well, that's it. And now, Guy, I've got your information, so I'll mail out the book to you this afternoon or first thing in the morning. But thank you, everybody, for attending. And Ibrahim and Dr. Lee and Robert, thank you so much for taking time out of your day. I know you're busy, and I really appreciate it. But thank you so much for being here today.
I did want to say this in closing, that one of the things that Luraco's been doing uniquely different is they've been actively getting engaged in the community, right? Recently, they gave a massage chair to the 911 center in Arlington, Texas, where our fire department, police department, and rescue workers are. And to see the response of the community to say, the fact that this company would be so compassionate to understand a need that exists in the community, to reach out and actually take the personal initiative and provide for the wellness of our city where our factory is housed, where our manufacturing plant is housed. This is a trend that I believe is going to catch on, so more and more cities can become conscientious about the wellness of the people in these cities, as well as the wellness of the people that protect those cities.
Yeah. Well put. Well put. Thank you.
Mhm.
Well, thank you, everybody. And I hope you we'll see who we got next month, but thank you so much, Dr. Lee. We'll have this video posted for you. If you want to share it with your distributors or with your staff, they can always access that video.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful day.
You too.
All right.
Bye-bye.
See you. Bye-bye.